Here's the rich Filipino family road trip schedule back in the 90s. So they would exit their Forbes Park home, they would drive the Pajero with the family driver. The media check was Eraserhead's Caterpillar or Mix CD or the stereo. At 7:30 a.m., they would do breakfast stop at NLEX. They would eat at Jollibee or McDonald's. They would buy sari store items like Pringles, iced tea, and Pocari Sweat for the cooler. At 11:30 a.m., they would do a quick stretch in Pozorubio or Urdaneta. They would buy local pasalubong like tupik from roadside vendors or Pajero's tinted win from Pajero's tinted windows. They would film using a heavy Sony Handycam VHS recorder, the one that you see in YouTube. At 2 p.m., they would do windows down, ACs off to prevent the engine from overheating. Sorry about that. Shopping at the iconic Lion's Head for a family photo with a professional photo team. The fashion is Gap or Spirit sweatshirts or even different alternatives. At 3:30 p.m., they would go at, in the manor at Camp John Hay for a private vacation cottage. They would unpack their stuff with the driver and the yaya uh, carrying the heavy Samsonite luggage while the family drinks hot chocolate from the lobby. At 7 p.m., they do dinner at Mario's. The location is Upper Session Road. They would do dim lighting, they have wood tablecloths and high-end dining. Their meals consist of famous Caesar salad with premium steak. The next day, they would do breakfast at Chocolate de Batiro. They would they would exit their cabin. They would drink hot chocolate with sticky rice cakes. At 10 a.m., they would play golf, and the kids would film with their Fujifilm disposable camera and while listening to the Sony Walkman. They would visit the Commissary Mile High Center where they buy imported American products like Hershey's and Nike shoes, and they would buy Spam. At 1 p.m., they would eat at Cafe Butter Ruins. They would eat Cordillera inspired dishes. They would drink fresh strawberry shakes with artisanal bread. At 3 p.m., they would go horseback riding. They would buy souvenirs like silver jewelry, wooden barrelmen, and fresh strawberries in plastic baskets. They would go at 6:30 p.m. when they do walk, while they shop at where they stop at Star Cafe for some Chinese Filipino food. The next day, they'll go to Baguio City with the premium pasalubong. They would have jars of Good Shepherd ube jam. They have strawberry jam, peanut butter. They have sundot kulangot and fresh banget vegetables. At 11:30 p.m., a.m., they have lunch at 50's Diner because it's designed for like a retro American diner theme along Manila weekenders. They have a meal of milkshakes, large burgers, and crinkle cut french fries. At 1 p.m., they would hit down Marcus Highway. They would take the toll gate and Their entertainment consists of Game Boy, like Tetris or Pokemon Red, while reading comic quest books from from America. At 5:30 p.m., they have a dinner stop in Pampanga. They would stop at San Fernando or Angeles City. Their meal consists of sisig kare kare before hitting the final stretch of NELEX. At 8:30 p.m., they would arrive home. They would welcome them, and then after, the yaya packs them bags, the driver cleans the dusty Pajero, and the kids take the camcorder to the tri- Sony TV to watch their footage. And that's the schedule for a rich Filipino family back in the 90s. Thank you guys for watching.